Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tabletop Bob. My name is Bob. I'll be your dungeon master for tonight, as we are back with Curse of Strahd. How's it going, everybody?
Good.
Doing
Well,
great.
Happy
So
New
glad to
Year.
be back.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. It's been a while.
Yes.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. So, it feels like I haven't seen you guys since last year. It's been wild. Long time to not play this game. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the phrase though? Distance makes the heart
Makes
grow
the-
fonder.
Absence makes the heart
fonder.
grow fonder.
How about 3 weeks makes the heart grow fonder?
3 weeks
Well-
makes the heart very fond.
Well,
Well,
3 weeks
well-
real time is like months in Barovia, so
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
you go.
true. We've got, of course, the esteemed panel of Tim, Andrew, Michelle, and Stefano back, the Curse of Strahd crew. We did take a little break over the holidays. I know some of us went away. We traveled. Others didn't do anything and stayed at home, like Andrew. We did nothing. So we decided to do a little mini game to fill in between the break, and we had a great time. Wouldn't you say, Andrew, playing Merkborg?
Oh yeah, it's a great game. Recommend it.
Really, really great. If you've never played it before, check out, or even really heard of it, check out our live play. It's 3 episodes, so it's very short, very digestible, and it is so much fun. The character creation process was so unique, kind of like really just a, a, a delight to play. Easy to pick up. Anyone could pick this game up and play it like immediately. Rules were super light. And Andrew, I think kind of intuitive, wouldn't you say?
Very intuitive, very good rule set, very simple.
Yeah, and it really fit the setting too. The way that you created characters, it kind of fit that grim, dark, apocalyptic scenario that it was.
Right, and the player characters are quite amusingly weak as well, which makes it a bit different from D&D, right? Bit refreshing.
Yeah, especially compared to 5e D&D. I mean, your characters, I think, in this realm of Barovia are relatively weak, but I mean, you're all formidable. I mean, you're also leveled up. Something to note. So, 4th level characters are nothing to sneeze at, so they say. We're going to talk about all the changes to your characters and roll for hit points in just a second. But before we do that, we got to do some icebreaker questions here. And today is not going to be so much of a question per se. It's not about your personality or something about your life. It's actually a conversation came up today at work. When is it not appropriate to say Happy New Year anymore? Because today is January 9th. And if somebody said Happy New Year to you today, like I did, for instance, we hadn't seen each other in quite some time, is that appropriate? I think is a hard cutoff date, honestly. Like I did it today almost facetiously, but I think it's the 7th. I'm with Larry David on this. It's the 7th. It's 1 week. You get 1 week of Happy New Year, and you move on with your lives. What do you think? Andrew?
I think for this channel, this is it. This is the last time.
Oh, this is the last time.
This is the last time on the channel.
So you could consider any meeting of people afterwards the first, like kind of like day one, essentially.
Yeah. So like, we got back to work on the 8th, so it's appropriate on the 8th for us.
Yeah, I tried not to say Happy New Year to anybody.
You can't say it after 12th night, which is the 6th.
12th?
12th night of Christmas.
12th night of Christmas.
Oh,
Three Kings
This is
Day.
a 12-day
Shakespearean.
feast. So after that 12th night, you can't
So is the
say
12th?
anymore. It's not
What's
allowed.
the 12th night of Christmas? Isn't there a song right on the 12th
The
day
12
of Christmas?
days of Christmas, yeah.
What does the true love give on the 12th day?
Oh,
Bunch of government surveillance drones. All those birds.
What?
is it 12 pipers piping? I'm sure someone
Yes.
knows. Someone can correct me.
Tell us in the chat if we're right. If Andrew's right? Is it pipers piping?
12 drummers drumming.
Oh, it's drummers?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Let's see what the chat says here.
Loudest Christmas in the world.
Drummers drumming.
Somebody Google the lyrics.
Googling's cheating. What about you,
Okay.
Michelle? Do you still say Happy New Year right now?
Yeah, I mean, I also am just generally socially awkward in my day-to-day life. So
Mhm.
like I will just if I haven't seen a person since New Year, even if it's like March, I'll be like, "Hey man, I haven't seen you in a while. Happy New Year." They'll be like, "What?" Be like,
Well,
"Anyway,
You could also say Happy Halloween then, right?
Right.
I-
hmm
Sure, yeah.
If you haven't seen
you
them
in a
since
minute.
before Halloween, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And
Yeah.
if I go to Denver in May, I'll be like, "How was your Christmas?"
Will
There
you
you
in
go.
May? It's hot out. You can't
Can-
ask about Christmas when the temperature's above 60. Come on now. What about you, Tim?
I don't know. I think I'm with Stefano on this one. I feel like any first time you see someone in like the month of January, that's like the right time. Like like we saw our coworkers for the first time like this week, so you gotta say Happy New Year. And like this is the first on the channel this New Year for me, so I'd say Happy New Year.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, you're all wrong. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, even though they're wrong. It's okay.
All right. So it's the
Um,
7th. Sure.
It's the 7th. Yes.
Got it. You know
Exactly.
what? Almighty Strahd. It's the 7th.
Almighty Strahd has decreed it.
It's the 7th, yeah. And 12 drummers drumming is confirmed.
The drummer's drumming?
Wow.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, thank you, everybody. So a couple other updates here. We did a state of the channel address. I did that on January 2nd. Their video, and I'll try to link that maybe this way soon after this stream is over. But that was also a great stream, a live stream, because it's very rare that I get a chance to like, just chat. I feel like, we do this little introduction. I give you a couple updates, and then we kind of just jump right into the games. I try not to linger too much, but I feel like when we get a chance to chat, we spend like an hour and a half chatting and talking, answering questions, and it was a lot of fun. So you can check the whole live stream out. Like I said, it's on the channel, so go see it. I actually put it as the pinned video at the top when you get there. Joey Lee says, Happy New Year. Thank you, Joey. We appreciate it, but it's the 9th, so please never
Yeah.
say that again.
Less of
Thank
that.
you. Yeah, less of that, please. But in all kidding aside, Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you for being here. So you ready to dive into some Curse of Strahd?
Oh, yes, please.
Let's do it.
I got a couple things that might be shocking today, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I can't promise that you're all going to live through this, but let's go to
Nah,
our Roll20 screen
perfect.
first and update your characters.
Oh boy.
All right, let me go to... Come on, OBS. Switch. Yeah, there it is. All right, so we can see we're actually still on our old screen of the encampment, the Vistani encampment. So we'll keep that up for now. Actually, no, probably be nicer if we get rid of all these things, right? Should go to our main screen. Yeah, let's go to the main screen. Go to the main screen. I'll put some music on, and who wants to roll their hit points first?
I will.
All right, Canas, Stefano. While you're rolling, tell us who you're playing today.
Sure. Sounds good. Hi, I am playing Canas, the half-elf warlock, with my trusty partner, who has become devilish, Ione, my familiar.
That's right. And what hit dice does the warlock roll? Is it a D8 or a D6?
It is a D8.
D8. Okay.
So far, I believe my rolls have been a 2 and a 4. So
All
this
right.
time we got a 1.
Oh dear Lord. You do add your Constitution though,
Yes.
which is plus what?
+2.
+2. So you had 3 hit points. Oof.
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
You
A
gotta
2, 4,
love-
and a 1 is not good.
You gotta love rolling though. It's great. You have to. You must love it.
So that puts me at
Yeah. What's your total
4.
at here?
That's 4, 6, 3, 13 plus 10, 23.
23. That's not so bad. I mean, honestly, warlock should really be a D6 anyway. So
Well, there you go.
that's just
That'll
my
put me
opinion.
just below average for a D6.
There you go. You're average. Good. Andrew, let's see Rufus and tell us who Rufus is.
Okay, so I'm playing Rufus Gwaindire, Paladin, Oath of Glory, a wonderful human. He's also noble, just in case you don't know. And
He's noble, all right.
he's going to roll his D10. And the Gwain Lord be with him. 5.
All right, nice average roll there. Here we go.
Not too bad.
So what's that put Rufus at?
I believe 32.
32. Okay.
Is that
So
right?
it's a lot more than Stefano.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so 32 and Rufus Gwaindire, of course, had the hardest road to Barovia. You came here without any equipment, so you've managed to get a sword from the burgomaster's son, Ismark, and Irina kind of gave it to you, right?
Right.
You
Yeah.
also have some armor that you...
Oh yeah, I have the lovely smelly hide armor from about 50 years ago. So
Yep.
yeah, I lost all my stuff on the first episode, which was very upsetting to me. But I have managed to steal a shield, purchase hide armor, and I just took Shield of Faith as a spell to protect me
mhm.
when I get into combat. So I hope that will take my AC up to 18 with everything once Shield of Faith is cast. So maybe
Look
I'll
at
do
you.
a little better now.
Yeah, you're kind of like a real character now.
Yeah, right.
It's awesome. And we go to Michelle.
Here I am. I am playing Dione Ironsage, who is a Dwergar rogue of the arcane trickster Flava.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
And rogues, if I'm not mistaken, have a D8, correct?
Yes. Oh, and hey,
Well.
Canas, you and I were buddies.
Oh no.
Hmm.
Yay.
Now,
Oh boy.
if I'm not mistaken, Tim rolled the best stats at character creation. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. It
And
was
Tim,
weird.
well, before we do that, actually, what's Dione's current hit points then?
I'm at 27.
Still more than Canas. Good, excellent. We'll use Canas as the measuring stick here.
Yes.
Tim, how many hit points does Laurent have?
I'm at 26 going into level 4.
Okay, so tell us who Laurent is, and tell us what you get for your hit points.
What's going on, gang? I am playing Laurent LeMaire, a human bard, the College of Spirits. And we roll a d8 as a bard at level 4. So let's see what we get.
The moment
show
of
up?
truth.
Yes, there it is.
Ah,
Wow.
you're the one I got above average.
Tim, you got to turn on your digital dice.
Oh, sorry, I will do it right now. Yep, it's an 8 though.
I've been looking for the dice. I was still
Sorry.
waiting.
Sorry. I gotta enact the roll 20, the beyond
No,
20, everything.
It's all good. I see it now in the chat. It's an 8, which is, of course, the highest you can roll. So you got an 8 plus your con, which I'm sure is a bonus, because I think every stat is a bonus for your character.
Yeah, it's 8 plus 2, so I'm up to 36.
Wow. The tank is actually the bard.
There it is.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah.
These things happen.
So, while you are all updating your character's hit points and putting the finishing touches on your character, I'm going to give a quick recap. This has been a very interesting road for the group. You came together, of course, in the woods. You entered into the woods all for different reasons. Some of you searching for things, some of you searching for creatures, some of you searching for perhaps a meaning of life. Who knows? But you all came together, and what became known to you as the Svalich Road, which is the road that led to the village of Barovia. In the village of Barovia, you met a bunch of interesting individuals, all kind of culminating into an encounter with the Count Strahd. He is basically the leader, the overlord of this region called Barovia, and the village of Barovia, which is the first town that you came across, has been under his rule, under his iron fist for many, many years, hundreds of years. He's a vampire, and he is ancient. He is the land. Now, of course, you've met him. You were introduced to him on the streets. You've also met a bunch of interesting NPCs that kind of have guided you around here. Some of the other ones were friendly, like you had some of the Vistani women who were at the Blood of the Vine Tavern. They had some interesting encounters with Laurent, saying that perhaps you looked familiar, that perhaps you're a Vistana yourself. One of them, Olenka, told you to seek out a woman named Madame Ava along the Svalich Road. Now, the encounter with Strahd happened because you're trying to help a woman named Irina Kolyana, who is the burgomaster's adopted daughter. The burgomaster died. His son Ismark him and Irina got you to help them and bring Irina to a town called Valaki, which is north west of the village. It's from what he hears from rumors that they have a safe haven, that Strahd does not have a presence there. So he wants you to take her there to be safe. Ismark it was encountered by Strahd in the cemetery while you were burying the burgomaster's body, and unfortunately was controlled by him, stayed behind. So you and Irina hit the road and came across Madame Ava's Vistani encampment. Last session, you had your fortunes read by Madame Ava, and Madame Ava gave you 5 cards that were drawn. The first card that you drew was supposed to tell you of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy, or so she said. You drew the 5 of stars, the elementalist. She said the treasure would be hidden in a small castle beneath a mountain guarded by amber giants. Again, she said to you that she cannot go against Strahd, but that this reading might predict your future and help you in some way escape these lands. The second card she drew said that it told of a powerful force for good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope. And of course, you drew the 9 of stars, the conjurer. She saw a dead village drowned by a river, ruled by one who has brought great evil into this world. And the last card of these items that might help you said that this card was power and strength. It told of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight. And of course, for that one, you drew the traitor, or the 9 of glyphs. She said, look for a wealthy woman, a staunch ally of the devil. She keeps the treasure under lock and key with the bones of an ancient enemy. And then after that, she drew 2 final cards from a separate deck called the High Deck. And this, of course, told of 2 specific things. One would be a card that would shed light on one who would help you greatly in the battle against the darkness, an ally of sorts. And for that one, you drew the Seer. And the Seer said, the Seer card told her to look for a dusk elf living among the Vistani. He has suffered great loss and is haunted by dark dreams. Help him, and he will help you in return. And last but not least, the final card told of where your enemy would be. She said your enemy is a creature of darkness whose powers are beyond mortality. The card will lead you to him, perhaps where you will defeat the evil. And that was the final card drawn. It was the Tempter. It was a secret place, a vault of temptation, hidden behind a woman of great beauty. The evil waits atop his tower of treasure. And so she gave you these clues, and I'm certain you wrote them all down and you've memorized them over the last 3 weeks. But yes, it is perhaps your fate sealed in the cards. And so, it is at this point they will head back into the lands of Barovia. Here we go. Tim.
Yes, sir.
Laurent is sitting in a cozy cottage, what seems to be a room with a large rug, a nice fur rug, soft and comfy, a fire blazing in the hearth. Sound of music is actually emanating from within this room. It's a cozy home, a place that you know you once lived. It's one of those memories, kind of like the earliest memories you can have. And you're a child crawling on this nice comfy rug. You look up and you see someone coming your way. This, of course, would be your mother. She's a radiant woman. She was sitting at the table laden with delectable pastries all over it. She seemed to be baking or something, takes off her apron, and her eyes look at you. They're filled with love. The voice is a soothing melody as she starts to sing to you. You fill the room with laughter and warmth. And together, she picks you up, and you go over to the table, and there's pies galore. All different sorts of sweets and different edible pastries here. She picks one up for you and starts to feed you with it. This is the life that you never had, of course. You look out the window. There's a hill with the sun cresting behind it. It's a breathtaking sunset. Their mother gives you a big kiss right on the fat cheek, because you probably are a fat-cheeked baby, right? Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Big old kiss on the fat cheek. And she hugs you. You feel warm all throughout your body. And then as the dream fades, you realize where you are. This dream, of course, is something that you've been remembering, trying to relive over the last few nights, or I guess it would really be the last night, was when you slept in Mary's house, Mad Mary. The night you ate that pie. Was it a meat pie, Tim?
Yeah, it was meat pie.
Okay. I think the group, a few people had the sweeter pies, the fruit pies, and you had the meat pie.
You know me.
But this was the dream you had, and you, again, trying to relive it. You've been trying to relive it all throughout the day. Every time you had a moment of downtime, it's kind of been something you've been trying to grab onto. But every time you have this memory, you try to really hold on to it, it fades away faster and faster. The first night, the night that you had the dream, it felt like it was almost a lifetime of enjoyment. In fact, you'd love to be able to relive it. I need you to give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Yeah, let's see if the dice work now. I think got everything turned on. Oh, yeah, there it goes. That's a 16 on wisdom.
I mean, you'd love to have another pie, but it's not something, you're going to be able to, you'll be able to control this urge, but you would love to have another one. Just to be able to relive that memory once again.
Yeah.
Or I shouldn't say memory, because it never happened. You actually, that's not something that you ever remembered happening, but it felt so real and so vivid. All right. You realize where you are, Tim. You're in Madame Ava's tent, and she just finished pulling that last card, bringing your attention back to the reading. And once she finishes her statement, the evil waits atop his tower of treasure. She says, that is all I can see for your futures.
And if that's, if that's all she can see for our future, I'd like to pull out my own Taroka deck that I use as my spellcasting focus as a bard. And I want to ask Madame Ava, I don't have the gift of foresight myself, but could you perhaps put a blessing or some kind of enchantment or charm on these cards to help us as we journey through Barovia?
Oh, want a little bit of luck, do you?
It would be nice.
She says, I could do that. You'll be staying with us tonight, correct?
I'll look to the rest of the group, but I think that was the plan. Seems like that was our plan.
Yes.
I will need them overnight. She opens
Of course.
one wide eye at you. Leave them here on the table. I'll bring them to you in the morning.
I will bow my head and say, thank you, Madame Ava. And if there's nothing else, I will step out of the caravan, out of the tent.
And the three of you are still there. Laurent is the first to leave after slapping down the deck of cards.
I had actually walked out after I asked about if there was anything divine in here, or any angels, and she mentioned that there may be fallen angels, because I was on my way out.
Oh, you mean at the end of last session you left? Gotcha.
Yes.
Anybody else still in the tent?
I'm there.
I'm there.
And I
If you have any last questions for her, but she says, you're welcome to stay with us. We don't bite.
Madame Eva, I am just curious, how do your people, how do they leave this place?
It's not something that's too complicated, she says. We're allowed to leave. You are not. If you enter the mist, you'll surely perish in it.
So you can enter the mist and traverse it.
Unfortunately, that is the deal. This land is under the curse of Strahd.
Ah,
Wh-
so the
what-
only way we can leave is if Strahd lets us, or if he is no more.
She says, "Many have tried. He seems to be particularly difficult to destroy."
We saw the ghost parade in Barovia.
"Such a shame," she says. "Such a shame. All those who came before you have failed. Hundreds, thousands perhaps."
Seems we're all some part of some form of entertainment for him. Keep his interest up in life,
Or in death.
unlife. But eventually, he may have brought off more than he can chew.
If I could help you, I would. Trust me. But I cannot go against the devil. No, it is forbidden. Therefore I cannot help you.
Well, perhaps
can-
the cards have. Perhaps
Oh,
the
the-
cards have helped us showed us the path to glory.
I've only shown you one possible future. I wouldn't
believe-
consider that helping you.
You
Of course I
have shown us-
couldn't, even if I wanted to. But you
we are
understand.
de- We are destined to come here now.
I wish you good luck. All of you. Though I know you won't need it. Your friend there, Laurent. He seems deeply troubled. How well do you know him?
Not well. We met barely before we came here. We all met each other in a wood, a forest of all places.
Well, keep good care of him. I feel a kinship with him. I would hate to see anything happen.
We will do. I feel that we were destined to come together for glory.
For glory. Many have said that. I hope you find it. Now, it's late. Get some sleep. You will need rest for tomorrow's journey. You have a few days' travel still before you.
Yes, I'd like some sleep. I've been having some rather splendid dreams recently, I believe.
That's
Thank
right,
you,
you had-
Madame Eva.
Did you have the fruit pie as well?
I think everyone had it except for
Canas?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a wonderful dream as well. Maybe perhaps you can decide what it was about, but it's supposed to be like the bliss. So could be just having all of your armor and weapons. That could be bliss. I don't know. All right, so exiting the tent,
Yeah.
or did you want to say something, Michelle?
No, I'm satisfied. Just thank you, Madame Eva. It will be interesting to see how this journey continues. And then I just kind of like duck out.
Sure. Let's jump over to Canas. You left the tent first, correct?
I did.
All right, so you walk out and you can see it's the open air, dark night, but the fire's blazing. The Vistana are telling tales, and I think before we even met Madame Eva, there was one of the Vistana was telling a tale of a wizard who battled Strahd up on the ramparts of Castle Ravenloft and fell down into the River Ivlis. And that story is now over. And they're laughing, telling some other funny tales. People who, Vistana, who, ironic situations, wagons breaking down, but then ending up getting some great fortune in return, and they're just dancing by the fire. Many people are celebrating and ending this perfect night with their drinks in hand.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do as you're alone? Well, I shouldn't say alone. You're with
Yune?
Yune. Excuse me. Yes.
Did they have food? Were they allowing us to like partake
Yeah.
in their revelry and their food and stuff?
Certainly. Yeah. They had some sort of meat and cheeses and wine, of course.
I may just go up there and join them and sit on a stump and have some food and grab myself a drink.
Yune is invisible right now or no?
Yune is visible.
Yune is visible.
Yes.
And in some sort of a disguise state, I forget.
I think it was a raven.
A raven, correct. Yeah. So Yune will perch on your shoulder. And I'm going to try something here, Stefano. Let's see how this works, okay? Fingers crossed here. Yune says,
What shall we do?
Well, Yune. It seems we must continue
Make
to
friends?
Velaki.
Would you like us to make friends with them?
Oh, you can make as many friends as you'd like. I mean, again, these Vistani, they're just enjoying themselves. Again, and in particular, you seem to be friendly with that Laurent, yes?
I love Laurent. With all my heart.
That's great. You should befriend Laurent. You and Laurent, other than me, that's going to be your best friend. You're gonna find out as much as you can about that Laurent.
I am a little concerned for Irina. You can see over here. She's very sad, sitting alone. I could try to cheer her up.
Yes, why don't we both join her?
Let's do that. We'll make it a night to remember.
Sure. Yes. Of course.
all right, so the two of you will head over to Irina, who's sitting kind of alone by the river near the horses. I hope that all came across and it wasn't, it made sense. Did the voice mod work?
It was glorious.
That was so cool.
Over the break, I had my friend Dave, who built my computer and everything. He came over and I was like, Dave, I got an idea. I downloaded this app voice mod, but I can't get it to work. I tried to do it before Curse of Strahd even started. And he was like, I'll do it. I'll fix it for you. So he fixed it for me.
Yo, props to friend Dave. Let's go.
Go, Dave.
He's the man. All right, so you go over to Irina, who's sitting kind of like by the river. She's next to one of the horses. She's like petting the horse and just kind of looking longingly into the river in the moonlight.
Irina.
Oh, Canas, sorry. I don't know, I just got lost in the clouds here.
It's easy to get lost in the clouds when clouds are surrounding you everywhere.
I guess we should probably sleep. It's been a very trying day.
It has. Your brother. At least we know he's okay.
Is he?
He may be under control of that foul Strahd, but Strahd seems to have kept him alive, maybe for nefarious purposes, but at least that gives him a chance.
And when we destroy Strahd, she looks at you like straight on. Then we'll free him of that hold. We'll get him back.
Of course. Of course. Is there anything else that is on your mind?
It seems like a fairy tale. Could these cards really mean anything?
Well, there's only one way to find out, Irina. And as someone who is very new to this place, it's certainly all I have to work with.
Well, as long as I have you with me, you and Laurent and Rufus and Dione, and of course
Yes.
Yune.
Yes, Yune.
We are always here for you.
Yune is a very trusted companion. You can You can feel safe when Yune is near you,
Always feel
Even-
safe when I'm near.
even when you can't see her.
Yes. All right. Let's get some shut-eye. She'll pet the horse one more time and start to take off her gear and head towards one of the sleeping areas. The rest of you join up, and the fire eventually dies out. The Vistana are probably the last to go to sleep, but they do eventually put out the fire and get some shut-eye. The rest of you sleep for the night. We'll take a long rest. It's a reminder that healing doesn't work the same. Our house rules say that you're using hit dice, and then at the end of the long rest, you'll gain half of them back. So roll your hit dice if you need to, and then we'll pick back up in the morning here. I don't know if anybody's actually too injured, though, are you?
No.
Nope.
No. Okay, good. All right, so morning will come. And as you wake up, it's a chilly morning. Like I said, it's kind of like an autumn feel to the area, the region. You wake up in the cool morning air, and all the Vistana, their horses, carts, wagons, all are gone. You are alone in your sleeping beds, or your sleeping bags, packs, whatever you had. But Tim, Laurent's cards are situated in your backpack already.
That was my concern, but that's also eerie that they were able to do that with us
So-
sleeping.
They're a
Mhm.
ridiculous parlor trick to vanish. You go to
That's,
sleep, you wake up, they're gone.
That's happened twice to you now, right?
very
Yes, I'm
strange.
familiar with this occurrence.
Poor Rufus.
Hey, you kept your stuff this time.
Well, I kept what I had last time. I just
How does Rufus feel about the Vistani so far?
Well, Rufus feels that they're kind of the agents of destiny bringing him on the path to glory.
Oh, so you don't necessarily, oppose them or are angry with them, are you?
No, I think they're kind of my muse. They facilitate me in my path to greatness.
Okay, good, excellent. I'm glad. All right, so
Yes.
yeah, pick up where we left off now. Do you want me to go back to the map, or how do you want to progress here?
I would like to look at the map. Who among us has the map? That's Irina, I believe you have it. Let's get it out and see if we can go with crew number 1, perhaps. This
Sure.
elementalist, see if we can see a small castle beneath a mountain. Are you familiar with any such castle, Irina?
The only castle I know about is Castle Ravenloft, of course. I mean, that is a dark castle, no doubt.
It's not a
Rufus,
small
would it not
castle.
be prudent of us to continue towards Vallaki? Maybe meet some more people, ask them about these places, gain some more clues, see if there's any truth to this building resistance.
If you wish it, I myself are convinced that this is our path to glory. But we
But
could explore Vallaki and try and find more information about these places.
And of course, it couldn't hurt to see if we find any of those locations on this map, but it doesn't look like there is too much to go off of.
Perhaps we can find a mountain. She mentioned a treasure in a small castle under a mountain.
Amber
Ari-
giants.
Mm-hmm. Irina, do you know of any mountains in this area?
Well, mountains, yes. There's the Baratok Mountains down here on the map. She'll point to like the you can see the elevated areas. The what's the word for this? And like the topographic maps. The
Elevation
word.
lines,
they're called something though, aren't they? Is that what it is? Is that simple?
Contour
Eleva-
lines.
isometric lines. It's an isometric map.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. You could see the elevation though on the topographic map here. So these areas are raised, right? These areas. And she says, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not quite sure what that could mean. Could it be figurative language?
You ever heard of any amber giants?
None. An amber giant? I've never seen a giant in my life. Although, maybe I'm not the best person to ask. I've lived most of my life in the village of Barovia.
Would there be anyone in Balaki who would be more knowledgeable?
Give me a... Let's see here. No, you don't have to give me any check. She says to you that many Barovians of the village of Barovia feel like we're kind of like the... I don't know. I wouldn't say the outcast, but we're definitely the ones who... I don't know. We gave up. I mean, I know my father didn't feel that way, and neither did Ismark or myself, but many of the other Barovians, the villagers, they've kind of assumed that this is how it's going to be for hundreds of years. It's been ingrained in them. They can see the castle from where we are. It's always ever present. Balaki and Kresk, they don't have the same problems. From what I hear, they're incredible places to go to, but the road is so dangerous. Most people don't venture farther than we've gone today.
I wouldn't cast yourself down in Baronia. It was but a year ago that you rallied behind the great wizard.
I didn't. My father wouldn't let anyone do it. Those foolish enough went against his will.
There were still those there, barely a year ago.
You're right, there were some that took a stand. Perhaps if we all did. And she kind of looks off after that statement. But you asked something very specific. You said something like... What was the question you asked?
Will there be anyone in Balaki who can tell us about amber giants?
Gotcha. Yeah. She says the town of Valaki is supposed to be a center of resistance. I'm sure that they have intellectuals and scholars. We could also talk to their burgomaster. I have met him. I think, once when I was a small child. His name is Baron Vargas Valakovich.
Well, what do you think, group? To me, as long as we act bravely, destiny will find us a way. So I am open to all paths.
I have made my intent clear.
Well, Ismark said we would be safe in Valaki. I think, at the very least, I should be there.
Do you not think you could be safer with us wherever we are?
No, I don't mean it that way. It's just my brother wanted me to go there, so perhaps if he were to try to find me... And she kind of lets that linger in the air as well.
There may be more to keep her safe in Valaki as well. I don't think a place with amber giants is safe for Irina.
Well,
At the very least, it makes sense to honor her brother's wishes for now.
we did give Ismark our word that we would see her then. Whether she
Perhaps-
remains there, we did not speak to, but we did say we would see her there.
Perhaps I don't have to stay at the Amber Giants either.
Perhaps you what with the amber giants?
I wouldn't have to face the Amber Giants either.
No, you would just distract them.
But would I have to go?
Oh yes, Yune,
You
of
are
course.
part of our group.
But they're giants.
Well, that could be figurative language. They could just be particularly large stones.
Oh, that's so smart.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Then we
these,
shall go and face these stone giants.
We shall. And if anything should happen to you, I'll see you in an hour after that.
What fresh new hell is this?
There's no escape.
Uni, when I used to go to the fortune tellers in Compton Ferris, they would always speak in figurative language. I would reassure yourself.
Irina will chime in and say, the Vistani often speak in words shrouded in mystery, so we have to take everything they say with a grain of salt. She looks to Laurent and says, sorry.
We can.
What?
I'm sorry, like, I didn't mean to say you can't trust them, but...
He's
Seems
not
fine to me.
actually Vistoni, you know that.
Of course. But sure, amber giants, no amber giants. We've already seen werewolves and zombies, so we should certainly keep our guard up. I'm certain there are more devilish creatures on the road. Shall we proceed?
Let's
Yes,
proceed.
Irina, have you heard of werewolves and vampires in Vallaki? Do you know?
Of course, I don't remember Vallaki. I believe I visited once when I was a small child, but I mean, they're all over the place. But I've heard that Vallaki has found a way to keep them out. It's also a much larger settlement. So, again, all of this is what I've heard through my brother. I mean, I know he's been there before, but it's been many years.
It sounds like at Vallaki they may understand the beasts better than you do in Barovia.
They've maybe learned how to fight against them better, yes.
We may be able to become better armed, better equipped.
Ah, that's a good point. Perhaps I can obtain some kind of chainmail or other armor that doesn't stink of dead animal.
And perhaps for a fair price.
A fair price, even though I have no money. We must definitely go to Vallaki. With all speed.
We've figured it out, everyone. All right, let's proceed.
Fantastic. Allons-y.
Looking at the map, it seems that the fastest way would take us very close to the castle. Is there any concern amongst anyone as we travel up this road?
Irina says, she points to, like, the map's out, sprawled out on like a tree stump or something, and she'll like point her hand down and say, the castle is here, and I'm going to actually reveal the castle or the map for our viewers. I didn't do that yet. So here is the party token. You are right here. And Castle Ravenloft is up here, just beyond the little forested area here. It probably is visible right now, actually, through the trees. But she says, we're not going to head this way, though. She says, we have to make sure that we stay on the outskirts. Probably best to go through this little section of the River Ivalis here, and we can pick back up the trail here.
I see. I remember you mentioning that.
Yeah, we'll want to stay away from the drawbridges that lead to the... Or not the drawbridges, the bridges that lead to Castle Ravenloft itself. Strahd is known to have some of his riders patrolling the grounds.
Well, we can follow the river and then cut north by that little wood and then regain the trail.
Perfect, she says. We still probably have a day and a half of travel if all goes well.
Well, let's hope it goes well then.
I suppose.
It was
We
very
should-
fortunate that we found the Vistani because, well, staying out in these woods alone at night, it's rather terrifying.
Indeed, and with a day and a half of travel, it seems we may need to at least take some time to stop and rest, or we must move quickly.
Shall we?
Yes,
Andrew?
I'm
Let's
here.
go.
Okay.
While I'm here, we will keep you safe.
Yes. Remember, you are not alone.
All right, so
The power
with
of
those,
friendship. All right.
with those encouraging
Power
words.
of
And with those encouraging words, everyone gets 6 hit points.
Oh, look at you. Your little
There it is.
heroic speech. All right. It's daytime. It's the morning. you're heading towards the river, and you're going to follow the river and not go over the bridge. You're going to stay to the western banks and then turn up north about midday right here through the forest.
Mm-hmm.
However, everybody give me a d20 roll, please.
I got an 8.
Call out your numbers. Yes, please.
7.
13.
1.
7, 13, 1, and 8. Awesome. The morning goes by rather uneventful. However, you will stop by and take a short rest, just a walking break, as you kind of get to the wooded area where you can see the stream kind of settles down a bit, and you'll take a quick break here. You notice that there is an old grave marker. It's made of stone, but it looks like more like a grave that's been violated. It is a shallow, mud-filled hole. It looks like it is got a few scattered bones in and around the vicinity of the grave. What do you do?
I'll go and peer it, see if there's any writing or language on the stone marker.
Yes, Rufus, I was thinking the same thing.
Come, Canas, let's investigate this old grave, archaeological feature.
So you head over to the gravestone, and the gravestone has a marker on it. It just says Victor, and it has some sort of date that means nothing to you because it's not the current time, right? Like you're clearly not in the right era,
Yeah.
right? Well, your modern calendar would have told you. And inside, you can see that there is a looks like a rusted chainmail. It was probably some human bones that remained in it, but most of it is corroded, as well as bones have been decomposed. It looks like perhaps graves robbers tried to take whatever was still usable and left the rest.
I'd also like to look around to see if there are any indications of like animals, if any animals had any part in the violating of this grave.
Give me a survival check.
Sure. Oh. A 6.
A 6. No, there's no animal marks here. This looks like probably the work of humans, to your assumption.
Okay.
Is it safe to assume that Victor is spelled with a K?
Definitely. Lots of K's in this place.
No last name?
No last name. Laurent. You look over at the gravestone.
Mhm.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
No.
Uh, 11.
In 11, you look to the gravestone, and you saw the scale armor and just some scattered human remains, but at second glance, you see the woman from your dream, your mother. Her face is there, and it slowly is starting to decay. You can see the skin withering and then eventually falling off the bone. That vivid memory you had, or dream memory you had. That's the woman
It's
you
just
see.
like The Shining.
Yeah. You don't take any ill effects, but you shake it off.
Yeah, no, that's I will probably like blanch. I would blanch at the sight of it. I don't think I would say anything. But we need to burn this body. Like we need to rebury it, burn it. Like this cannot stand as an open grave.
There's not much left, Irina says. It's mostly bleached bone.
We'll let those bleached bones turn to ash then.
Well,
I think
Bones.
this is a waste of time, no?
bones don't
I think it
burn,
is only
Laurent.
I think it is only flesh that comes back.
Right. Let us go forward, not linger here.
I'll begrudgingly move on.
Okay. If you want, though, it wouldn't take long during the short rest to just rebury the bones, to put dirt over it to cover it. Irina will start doing that even without your, suggestion. She'll just start doing it. Take out a spade.
Irina, you don't need to do that, Irina.
Yune helps.
Of course I will help. And Yune starts flapping its crow wings.
Yune talks also in the third person there. Gotta remember to hit that button. It's important.
Thanks, Yune.
No problem.
So Yune and Irina will start shoveling some of the dirt back over the mound, and after the short break, this little water break, you head back on the road. And it's at this point that the rain starts to come. Let me switch over my music here. I believe I've got music for this. Maybe. Maybe not. Come on now. Maybe not. I don't want to play around with it. But either way, the rain starts to come. And it's one of those rains where it's like it starts off as a brief drizzle, and you're like, maybe it'll clear up. And then no, it's just a downpour of rain. Kind of like we have tonight here in New York. It's just constant, heavy, big water drops. Every time one of them hits your head or face or whatever, you're covered in water. You have to keep wiping your brow. You put hoods of, your cloaks or cowls up or whatever you might have. But there's really no escaping this rain. It's a pretty thorough downpour. And it's going to make the trek across not only the shallow part of the river, but the forest and the hills a bit more difficult. I'm going to ask everybody to give me a survival check to see if you can navigate through the rain and keep a steady march. The DC is going to be a 13, and if a majority of the group gets it, I'm going to roll one for Irina. Then you'll be able to continue your pace. If not, you'll go slower, and I'll need more checks.
Well, what time is it?
It's about midday at this point.
Oh, so we can't make camp.
You could, but it would take another day.
In the rain.
Can I cast guidance on myself?
You can, yeah.
Okay.
And Irina's going to roll as well. Irina will succeed.
I got a 17.
Okay.
10.
10 for
9
Rufus.
Plus.
Ooh.
I got a 10.
So, yes, the rain is going to slow you down. The only people who succeeded were Canas and Irina, I believe.
Yeah.
All right, so it does slow you down. Everybody give me another D20 roll for just a straight D20 roll.
$16.
13.
2.
And Dione, what'd you get?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was muted. 3.
3, gotcha. All right, so it looks like you're going to be... Yeah, Canas, you rolled a 16, huh?
I did.
Okay, great. So...
I don't know what that means.
Never feels great.
You notice that as you get more north, you've passed the river at this point. I'll move your token here. You can see that there's some gentle rolling hills here, and what looks like some old abandoned farmsteads. The buildings look dilapidated. They don't look like they're in good condition, even at a distance from the fields you're trekking through. And it looks like all of their any sort of vegetation is well overgrown. But you see some scarecrows in the distance. There are 3 scarecrows that look like they're kind of sitting in what used to be some sort of a field of wheat or corn or something. What's your passive perception, Canas?
My passive perception is a 13.
Gotcha. Okay. Canas, as you're walking, you've been seeing the scarecrows at a distance. As you're walking, you're kind of like maybe like 30 or 40 feet away from the edge of this like little farmstead. There's a little wooden fence that looks like it's about to fall apart as well. And so the scarecrows are off. There's a couple in the distance, maybe a couple 100 feet away. And you look up and you notice there's only 2 scarecrows now. You were certain there were 3.
I just looked away for like a second.
Yeah. You remember they're
anyone
3
el-
because they had distinct features. One of them had like a little hat, little sun hat on it. The other one had a nice checkered pattern flannel. And the other one, well, the one that went missing, had some sort of weird mask on it. Something like, it was like almost like a white or ivory type mask on it. The others were just mostly hay.
Did anyone else see 3 scarecrows a moment ago?
I'll look over and say, there's 2.
There was one, I'm certain there was one with a mask that is now gone. Does anyone else feel that maybe their eyes have been playing tricks on them, or tricks have been playing on the eyes? Looking around here, seeing things that may not be there.
Yes.
Laurent.
But there are definitely 2 scarecrows.
I only see 2, Irina says.
Yeah, there
Take
are
the
only
faith,
2.
Canas.
Well, if a
Not succumb
scarecrow,
to fear.
if a scarecrow with a mask appears in front of any of you, destroy it.
Will do.
Noted.
I'll look at Laurent and kind of wink.
Yeah, a little smirk back.
What's the marching order of your group here? What would you say would be the...
I would take the lead if anyone didn't care.
I'd be next to Irina and probably behind Canas.
Okay.
I'll go near the back then.
I'd probably be next to Canas in the front.
Sure. The rain continues.
Oh, now in the back. Oh, no.
Yune is trailing in the back with Laurent.
Yes! Big win!
Besties.
Oh.
So what's your favorite color?
Ooh, I'm gonna go with light blue, like the color of the sky in spring days. What's your
That's
favorite
my
color?
favorite color.
Oh, no way, best friends?
Yeah. Oh man, what are the odds?
Did we just become best friends?
There are
I think
so
we did.
many colors.
Yeah. What's your favorite color, Dione?
Perhaps ashen gray. Like
my
the
gosh.
color.
That's my
The
other
color-
favorite color.
Oh,
That's-
oh wow. Amazing.
Dione, that is also my favorite color.
Oh wow. We are like best friends almost.
Almost.
Sure. Let's press on.
Irina mutters under her breath, mine's purple. Almost inaudible. Almost inaudible.
How about you, Rufus? Sunlight
Well-
yellow?
What's the color?
That's
What's the
funny.
official color of the Gwaindire flag?
Actually, royal purple may be yours.
funny
Perhaps
you should
you and
ask.
Irina share a favorite color.
Well, I would love to say that, but it has to be the colors of the Gwaindire flag, which is, of course, two glorious yellows, and then a blue stripe for the River Gwaindire running through. So we have the glorious Golden Valley, represented by the yellow, the wheat, which we make so prestigiously in Gwaindire, and then the River Gwaindire, which runs through the center of the Golden Valley, is upon our flag.
So is it like an azure?
Exactly, a river, an azure.
An
river
azure
colour.
river. Hmm.
Yeah, it sparkles.
It's beautiful.
Castle Resplendent. If you can catch a view of Castle Resplendent reflected in the river, it truly is magnificent.
Of
But
course,
that's
in
not
the
a
summer,
color, that's white, of course, which doesn't count as a color.
Mm.
Otherwise, it
middle
would
of
be my
the-
favorite.
In the middle of
sorry.
this, Dione's eyes have glazed over.
I'm just walking forward.
Wheat is not the only export crop of the land of Gwaindire. There's also barley, other kind of
rutabaga.
preservatives, sheep, wool. We have many sheep on the sides, the northerly faces of the upper valley.
Tim, what was that one thing you said in one shot?
Sorghum.
It was
Red sorghum.
red sorghum. Yeah. You got any
yeah.
red sorghum in
You got any red
Gwaindire?
sorghum in Gwaindire?
No, I'm not familiar with this plant.
Man. Let me tell you, red sorghum is the best sorghum to grow.
That's
Perhaps
wonderful.
if you do have some, perhaps I should take some back, introduce it.
Yeah, my parents, who were farmers, in fact, they our primary farming crop in our rotation was red sorghum.
Red
What do
sorghum.
you use this material for? This plant?
Well, you can make lots of stuff. It's like a wheat, kind of like a rice
Oh,
almost.
a cereal.
We used it to make wine, which was really lovely.
So many uses of red sorghum, honestly.
It's maybe the most useful plant of all time.
Write that down.
Everybody
Irina,
give me
have
one
you
more-
ever seen this azure color running through this Gwaindire flag?
Who? Rufus?
Irina.
Oh, Irina's never seen it. No, she doesn't know Gwaindire. She'd love to see it one day, though.
A
She's
pretentious,
holding you
one
to
day.
that promise.
a pretentious blue it is.
Exactly. Give me a d20 roll again, everybody.
Oh no.
Let's go 16.
20.
6.
I got an 11.
18.
Okay. So you progress a little bit more. It's getting towards evening. You're sticking closer to the hills here. It's nice and easier to traverse. Not the hills, excuse me. Below the hills here, it's easier to traverse, kind of like in this little valley. And you know the road is coming up soon. However, you come upon what looks like a hunting trap. In fact, the sound catches your ears before anything else. You hear a whimpering, a sound of an animal caught. Up ahead, you can see in the valley that a wolf has been caught in this metal jaws. You can see its leg, its hind left leg, looks like it's been captured by the jaws of this hunting trap. There's blood kind of smeared all over the trap in the area. The creature looks exhausted, like this may have been here for at least a day or two. Looks like it's been defeated, and it's just whimpering quietly.
Oh, puppy, we must save him. I will rush. I will rush to the wolf.
What do the rest of you do?
Oh,
I
hang
turn
back.
I turn to Irina and say, Dione, she loves animals.
Yes, I can see that. Tim, what do you do?
Just as we were leaving the area with the fields, if we turn around, there's still 2 scarecrows.
Oh, that was a few hours ago. Yeah. but-
Okay, never mind. Yeah. Then as we approach this hunting trap, I would simply kind of like stand a little bit back and be a bit wary because where there's a trap, there is certainly a hunter not far.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking around the area.
Yeah.
I do now have Devil's Sight, by the way.
Devil sight. Yeah, so that's even magical darkness you can see through.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
So my dark vision is doubled
Okay. Sounds good.
as well.
All right, so Dione, you head over. The rest of the group seems to be hanging behind, but you head up to the wolf, and the wolf snarls. It bares its teeth as you approach.
I will kind of like duck down, make myself small, show my hands in a supplicating position as if to communicate that I am not a threat.
Oh, can I
Careful.
cast guidance on Dione too? I've got this guidance. Need to start just spamming it. 'Cause it's cantrip.
Sure.
Hey,
How would
Cantrip,
you?
thief.
How would it look in game though? What would you be doing?
Absolutely. I want to pull out my small doll that I stole from Mad Mary's house, and I want to whisper sweet nothings in its ear. And what I'm actually saying when I say sweet nothings is like, "Oh my God, please don't get eaten by the wolf," and that'll be my guidance. And then my small voodoo doll effigy will project guidance
Sure.
towards
Go ahead.
Dione.
Also, I'm hanging back maybe like 20, 30 feet. I'm not like
Right. You're
100
behind,
feet
yeah.
away.
Yeah, you're not right there, but you're also.
But I
not-
am circling and looking around
Sure.
just to see if and listening. If well, I probably hear the whimpering and the snarling, but listening for other sounds.
My demeanor changes. I appear very agitated.
As Dione is approaching,
Yeah.
Dione, give me a animal handling check.
sure.
With
I'll
the
give you
D4.
advantage on this.
Hey, okay. We got ourselves a 20, a dirty 20.
You
can add
approach.
D4 onto that.
Oh yeah, D4
yeah.
onto that as well.
Will it? I mean, okay.
That's
I mean,
from
the
Tim.
20,
Yeah,
24 is really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay.
Can't hurt.
So
Ooh.
yeah, fair. It's a 22.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, the
2-2,
DC was
same number.
The DC was 23. I apologize. Well, it was a good try, but no. You approach the wolf, and it looks too exhausted. When it sees that you're putting your hand up and you're trying your best to calm it, it realizes you're not a threat, and it just kind of relaxes and lays on the floor, whimpers a bit more.
I will come over slowly, give it a gentle pet, and then start to like try and pry the jaws of the
Oh,
trap open.
I shout out, "What are you doing? That animal is dangerous."
He is weak. He is suffering. I think he is too weak to hurt us. Don't worry. It's just a puppy. It's okay.
Put it out of its misery, poor thing.
What do you have against wolves?
They're dangerous. Dangerous animals. We were just
Right.
attacked with Strahd's wolves.
I believe those were of the were variety. Or were they just wolves, actually?
Dire.
They were
was
not
that?
werewolves. They were on,
Wolves.
they were like, regular like wolves. Yeah,
Okay.
regular
Then
sized
I don't-
wolves, yeah.
I would not say that. I'm retconning that comment.
Done. I never heard of it.
Wolves. Where?
We got
That's what you
attacked
meant.
by
Yeah.
the wolves.
We did get attacked
this
by wolves,
one?
yeah.
This one is wild. I don't think this is a Strahd wolf. It's just a wild puppy. No problem.
The trap itself, Dione, you can see its steel jaws are caked with rust. It looks like it was, you can see the area now that you're close enough. There's blood, dried blood around the area, but it looked as though there was a trap and it was hidden under a thin layer of like pine needles and detritus. But ultimately, the wolf sprung the trap and all that scattered too.
When I guess I would like to look at the leg that's stuck. Like, does it look as if it is so mangled that it's irrecoverable? It'll become gangrenous, that the wolf will die. Like, how
Probably
severe?
without some sort of healing. Yeah. Hmm.
I see.
You could also give me a medicine. Maybe it would be a medicine check, or I'd accept nature.
Okay, I could do you a nature.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that would be a 16.
It probably is going to suffer from a broken leg.
Oh.
And without it being healed, it would definitely. I mean, this dog would be probably too lame to actually defend itself in the wild.
Oh la la.
This wolf, I should say, not dog.
Right. Is there anybody who is willing to perhaps help this puppy with a little healing magic?
Rufus can heal. I've seen him do it.
Yes, with his hands.
I don't know. It looks too far gone.
But perhaps if we can just help him a little bit, he can join his family.
What? Why? To what end?
He is an innocent life.
Rufus, if you want, you can get a little closer and see the wound.
I'll move very, very cautiously closer, and I'll be poking the bush to see if there's any more traps with my sword as I approach.
Good call. Give me a spot check. Or not spot, perception.
Perception.
By the way, I played Star Wars, the RPG, last night at the gaming club.
Mhm.
And it brought me back as it uses basically 3rd edition rules. And there's spot and listen. There's no perception. It's spot and listen. You have to break
I
them
kinda
up.
love that.
Wow.
Well, that
So-
doesn't pay tribute to all the senses.
That's
What
good
was your
nuance.
perception here?
16.
A 16. Yeah, you're able to poke away the pine needles and detritus and see that that was an independent trap.
Excellent. All right, I'll get a bit closer.
Yeah.
Look at
You're
it from about 3
as-
feet away.
Okay, good. So you're within the 5 feet of the wolf. The wolf growls at you, Andrew.
It is okay. It is
I
okay.
jump back. I kind of walk back a couple of steps. It's too far gone for healing. Let's go from here.
I
Put
will
it out of
heal.
its misery.
I will heal the poor beast.
Be careful. Be careful.
All right, so
Canas.
Canas, will you heal it?
Yeah.
Can I
What do
be
you
careful?
use? I will use expend one of my healing lights
Go for it.
to give it 4 hit points.
Okay, so I assume, Michelle, you're going to open the trap up.
Yes.
You open the trap up just enough for it to get its leg free. And then it can't really move anywhere. So, Canas, as you approach, and as long as Dione's kind of nearby, the wolf will allow you to touch its leg to heal it.
So I will do that. I will do so.
As soon as it gets feeling back in its leg and it realizes it no longer needs to limp, it will look to all of you, and it does kind of like that dog thing where it he looks at you and it kind of turns his head, right? You know, like as if, wow, like what'd you just do? And then he'll run off into the trees, the forested area.
I quietly clap. Thank you, my friend. And I put a hand on Canas's shoulder. You are a friend to the beasts.
Well,
We're going to see that one later tonight.
the poor thing was suffering, and there was something I could do about it.
Then you look at Irina. No, I'm just
Me?
kidding. No,
No.
I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Just kidding.
Okay.
Irina says we should go. We should find a place to camp before it gets too much more dark out.
Thank you for your patience, everybody. And then I will continue to walk ahead.
Do you look at Rufus at all?
Oh yeah, he was included in my thank you for your patience, but I don't give him like any special attention.
Gotcha. Excellent. All right. You come across what seems to be the trail again. However, you are in this valley. Like I said, it's kind of like a little dip between the hills here. And it's actually, the rain, I mean, hasn't let up. It's been relentless at this point. And you look over into the valley, deeper into the valley, and you can actually see smoke rising in the distance. It looks as though there's some sort of refuge, some sort of a windmill in the distance. You get to this Svalich Road, but again, like I said, it transitions here from a winding path into like a lazy trail. You can see to the left, you can see there is a what looks like, as I said before, some sort of a stone windmill. You can see the wooden vanes, right, as it kind of moves, and the rain pounding on it. What do you do?
Is the smoke from the windmill?
Yes, like a fire inside, perhaps.
And what time is it now?
It's getting dark. It's actually probably dusk at this point.
that must be where the hunter's trap is from. I'm sure they're self-sufficient over there. Maybe it's worth spending the night.
Anything to get out of the rain, Irina says.
Yes, let's approach cautiously.
Perhaps
As we-
there are friends inside.
Let's approach cautiously with
Uh,
stealth.
Yune, there may be enemies inside. Turn invisible.
Why would they be enemies?
I agree with you, Nate. I think you're too worried. I'm still looking for your missing scarecrow.
That's true. The
What
scarecrow.
about your burning bones?
That's
That was
true.
a legitimate religious crusade.
That's also true.
Thank you, Yune. I
welcome.
appreciate your support in this endeavor.
Being
I'll be
cautious
turning
never hurt
invisible
anyone.
now.
Thank you.
All right, so you approach the windmill. Like I said, it's a stone windmill, so it does seem like a pretty sturdy structure. However, all the attachments to it, you can see there must be a few levels within. You can see windows kind of at various heights. The wooden planks of the windmill look like they've seen maybe better days. Some pieces of the planks are missing, but for the most part, it seems to function. It's got like an onion domed edifice on top, and it looks as though it's trying to fight back the stormy skies right now. You can see that there is also some scaffolding, like people maybe are doing some repairs to it. There's scaffolding at the second level of the mill. I'm going to switch us over. We don't need the map for this point, so I'm going to switch us over to our big faces here. Yune went invisible, so it's the 5 of you approaching?
Yeah.
Makes sense?
With,
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
with Yune.
Yeah, but Yune's invisible, so like as you approach,
yes.
it's 5
So they can't
figures.
see. They
Visibly
don't,
five,
no
yeah.
one would see Yune.
Yeah. Now, you told Yune to go invisible, and Yune said, I'm going invisible. And you can sense Yune is around, you know, because you feel like you have that telepathic link. But then all of a sudden, a raven flies in your face, Canas.
I'm certain that's not Yune, right?
It's like, "Rah, rah," and it's like smacking you in its wings and its claws, scraping your nose.
I wave it out of the way.
Give me an attack roll, please. Just a unarmed attack roll.
Okay. What do I add to that?
It would be nothing. You're just your
Actually,
strength.
I have both of my character sheets open, so I might be able to just find unarmed attack. There it is. 10.
A 10. You swat it away. You don't seem to like do any damage to it. It doesn't seem like it's injured, but you hit it, and it kind of flies a little crooked, and then eventually kind of tumbles onto the ground. But it gets its claws under itself, its talons under itself, I should say, and it starts squawking in the air at you.
I telepathically speak to Yune. That's not you, is it?
No, and in fact, this creature is very rude.
This creature is incredibly rude.
It will not be our friend.
Can anyone converse with this creature to see what its issue is?
No.
No one has that ability.
It like pecks your foot. Oh, sorry.
Yune does not say that. It pecks your foot, and like starts to like pick at your shoelaces, and then eventually, after you kind of shoo it away, it flies off. This time, far off, like way up higher than the windmill, and kind of towards the. I would say if a directional, it'd be going like northwest towards the forest behind you. It's at this point, though, that you get close enough to the windmill, and you can see that there's light inside. It looks like almost all the levels have light, and you can smell a delightful aroma coming from within. That smoke that was rising out must be used to be cooking right now, because you smell the savory smell of meats, as well as something else that sounds or smells kind of familiar. Pies.
I am thinking of my dream, and I have to go to this windmill right now. I have to be there.
Well, you rush to the door. It's a sturdy wooden door. It does have what seems to be some sort of like a little window panel within it, but it's a bit too high. It's kind of towards the top of the door. But it's got a large door knocker, and it has like some sort of a slit that perhaps from the inside they could open a viewer of sorts.
I will like huddle under like if there's any eaves or anything just to kind of block the rain, and I will look to the rest of the group. I don't want to knock on the door if anyone's uncomfortable with going in the windmill, but I am strongly inclined to go in myself.
I smell
I'll
meat,
just-
so I give him a thumbs up.
I'll just nod.
I don't object.
Irina
All right.
says anything to get out of the rain. And you all kind of huddle up. Now you're under the scaffolding and the eaves. You can definitely get a little bit of coverage. You knock on the door?
Yes, please.
You give a big knock with the knocker there. And after a few short moments, a pause really, The door, the slot, shifts to the side. You can see what looks like a woman who is kind of peeking her face there. You can see just the eyes and maybe part of the nose. And she's like, "Who is it?"
Just some wary travelers looking to spend a night out of the rain. I'll
Oh,
kind of step back so she can see that there's more than just myself.
oh dear, you look at you. Drenched. Hold on one moment. The slot will
Soaked to the bone.
close. You'll hear a couple of different locks, mechanisms unlocking, and then she'll open the door. You can see a woman before you, human woman. She looks rather beautiful. She's got like flowing red hair, very like white, pristine skin, and she looks to you all and she goes, "You must be cold and tired. You've been walking out in the rain all day?"
All day. We are absolutely soaked through.
Get inside. Get inside. Come on. Come on now. Take those cloaks off. They're soaking wet. Drape them over there by the hearth. And you enter into this mill. So this ground floor, when you walk in, it's a circular building, right? So you can imagine that it's kind of like it's not that big, right? I mean, it's probably like 20 feet in total in diameter. So it's not a huge place, but you can see that there's like a hearth here that looks like it probably carries itself up through the chambers. You also have all different sorts of baskets. There's dishware. There's like a cart as well. Trunks. It looks like maybe this is where like they store quite a few things. And you even hear sounds of animals. There's a clucking of chickens. There's like a cage of chickens here, and you can see, you smell the sweet smell of pastries. It is such a delight to your nostrils. There's also an upright barrel in the center of the room. There's quite a few things in here, but she says, she's like, "Pay no mind to the mess." She's like, "I apologize for the conditions here. It's just we've been so busy with the pies." She says,
I'm gonna
"Sorry,
Who is-
ping divine sense.
I apologize." She says, "My name is Ophalia."
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well,
I want to
thank
ping
you
divine
for
sense when there's something.
thank you for providing us with shelter from the rain, Ophalia.
Sure.
You said we are busy with the pies. Who else helps you with the pies?
She'll tell you in 1 second. I just want to. Andrew said something. What did you say, Andrew? You're doing
Oh.
divine sense?
Divine. I want to ping a divine sense.
Sure.
I'm feeling
Um,
cautious.
Sure. Now, how does that look for you? How would you describe your divine sense?
This time I have to mutter it because I don't want to give myself away. I'll say, "Gwaindire, guide me."
Give me a stealth check to see if you can hide that and do it quietly.
Yeah. What's that? 14.
Okay,
That's a
14. You mutter those words under your breath and you ping your divine sense. I'll come back to you in just a second. Stefano, you asked something. Who makes the pies with you?
Ophalia said, "Yeah, we have been so busy with the pies, and I only see one person." So I asked, "Who is we?"
Oh, so silly of me. Of course. Well, there's my family and our helpers. She says, "I do some of the work. I mostly organize things, but my sister, Bella, she's the one who she really has a knack for the meat pies. She does all the seasoning, things like that. And then, of course, our mother, Morgantha. She's the one who peddles them to the villages around."
Ah, we met Morgantha in the village of Barovia.
That's wonderful. Did you try our pies?
They were so lovely. Oh my god, I had the most wonderful dream after having one of her pies.
Oh, that's all we want. That's all we want, honestly, is to bring joy to people here in Barovia. It can be such a sad and bleak place, don't you agree?
Well, yes, and I'll tell you, the pie made me feel infinitely better after having one.
You're going to have a fresh pie tonight then, and you will sleep well, my friend.
I am giddy with excitement.
She'll even walk over to you and she'll be like, I'm so thrilled that you're here. She'll put her hand like kind of on your chest and give you a nice little rub and a pat.
Oh, I blush.
She says, fresh pies are even more potent, so it could actually be an even better dream tonight.
I find that hard to believe, but I just can't wait.
Yes. Please, leave your cloaks here, dry off your wet clothes. Come on up. In fact, we're about to make a fresh batch. And as she starts to walk away, Andrew, your divine sense will ping here. But the rest of you, are you putting your cloaks? What are you leaving here in the downstairs?
Cloak and like backpack for me. So just my Taroka deck in my pocket, and
Sure.
maybe like a rapier on my hip, but that's it.
Okay. Stefano?
Yeah, I suppose I'll leave my bag. And I don't really use my short sword much, so I might put it up against the wall.
Sure. And then Dione?
But I would keep actually, warlocks don't need do they need a component pouch?
You do, yeah.
Okay.
Unless it's a what's
Ritual.
the ritual? I believe you don't. Oh, maybe because it doesn't take up the cost of the material, right? I'm not 100% sure. Double check, but you can keep your component pouch with you.
Okay.
Yeah, it would go in your pocket or something,
Yeah.
or on your belt. Yeah.
Okay. But
What about
I'm
you?
trying to unload some of the things that I've been carrying.
Sure. Yune is inside here as well, and Yune telepathically will tell you that she will stay in this area because it's by the fireplace. She wants to stay warm.
Yes. Stay warm and guard our things.
That's a great idea.
I'll do just that.
Thank you, Yune.
Dione, what are you leaving here?
I think I'm gonna leave like presumably I was wearing a cloak of some sort,
Mhm.
which is now drenched in the rain, so I'll leave my cloak. And then yeah, maybe like my bag or whatever's holding like my small things. But I will keep my short swords on me.
Sure. They're scabbard. They're in a scabbard or something, right? Or
Yes.
by your
yes.
hip or something.
Right, exactly.
Irina will leave her stuff here. She takes off her cloak and her backpack. She only had, I think, a dagger or a short sword or something like that. So she'll leave. I mean, that's just on her belt, so she'll keep that. But she'll leave her gear and her cloak here. And she'll also put the map of Barovia, because that got a little wet in her bag. And she'll leave that out, like spread that out, put something, she'll take like a little jar, mason jar or something, and put it on there so that you can spread it out and dry it. And she'll lead you up the steps. Andrew, as you're seeing your friends leave and you mutter those words, you ping your divine sense. You're sensing that she is a fiend.
Oh.
And you see your friends start to walk up the steps with you, and Irina turns back. She's the last one on the steps. She goes, "Are you coming, Rufus?" Rufus?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was lost in thought.
Let's go eat some pie.
Perhaps you should come here a minute, Irina. By the
She looks
fire
up
with
at
me and warm yourself.
Dione is like almost up the steps at this point, and she says, "But there's another fire up there. They're baking." But she'll still come down the steps a few and stand in the room with you.
Okay, is she close enough for me to whisper to her?
Yeah. What is it,
Okay,
Rufus?
There is danger here. I sense it.
Danger. She says, "This has been finally the first break we've gotten."
be ready. Do not leave the map here.
But it's
I'll
wet.
take the map. I'll put it away.
You take the map? Okay.
Yeah, and I see my friends going up the stairs, so
Happy as can be.
yeah. And
I don't
kinda-
think this guy's happy. I'm just brooding the entire time.
and I'm not really sure what to do, so I'm just gonna stay there with Irina while you can switch to them, because I'm just gonna hesitate.
Okay. Laurent, you're the first one up, obviously. You followed her. You followed closely behind Ophalia, I'm sure. The second level of the mill, you can see that there are, well, let's put it this way. There's stuff all over the place. You can see, like, clouds of white dust in the air as flowers flung. You can see that there are 2 children in here.
Oh.
2 children.
Do you recognize one of them?
No, you don't. You don't recognize them. No.
Okay.
There are 2 children though, and one is a young boy. I'm just trying to see the age here. Yeah, a boy who must be about 7 years old, and a young girl who's maybe barely 5. The 2 of them look like they're having the time of their lives. There's another woman here, a dark-haired woman. She is equally beautiful, and she's like rolling out dough with a baking the pin, rolling pin, and you could see the kids. They've got meat and all different sorts of like pastry filling, all different sorts of types of fruit, and they're all doing some little part of this baking. It's like there's a bunch of batches going at this point, and the hearth, which again rises up here in this area, the same kind of goes through the chimney here. You can see that's roaring. It's got some sort of pie tray inside it already. And Bella says, "Ophalia, who was at the door?" And she finally sees Laurent, Canas, and Dione head into the room. "We have guests. This is..." Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't catch all your names.
My name is
I am-
Canas.
I am Laurent. Pleasure to meet you. We've had your pies. They're excellent.
Dione, I would like a meat pie, please.
Oh, this is wonderful, Ophalia. I love to hear satisfied customers. She goes, "I know, isn't this wonderful? Mother will be so happy." And she sold them a pie. Were you in the village of Barovia? That's where she's been these past few days.
Yes, that's where we just came from. In fact, we've been
Oh.
walking about a day and a half, 2 days now.
She must be right behind them, Bella says, because she was supposed to be here this afternoon, but the rain must have slowed her down.
I assume you are Bella.
I'm Bella, of course, yes. And the dark-haired beauty walks over to all of you and introduces herself, shakes your hands. She's got, "I apologize for all the flour, but these rascals have been making the place a mess."
Your children.
No, not biologically, she says. We've adopted them. And she smiles and looks back at the kids, and the kids look, they're having fun. She says, "This one here," she points to the 7-year-old boy. She says, "His name is Freak." And she says, "Before you ask, it's spelled Freek."
Okay.
And of course, this young one here is Myrtle.
It is just so generous of you to be not only making beautiful pies, but also have such a beautiful heart to adopt these children.
Yes, you see, their parents, they're from the village, and she whispers as she doesn't want them to hear. She's like, they were addicted to alcohol. A terrible, terrible thing. She almost sniffles and begins to tear up. She's like, the demons that they had to face to give up their children. But we can put them to good use. We have a place for them to stay. We've got comfy beds and a purpose. They help us make the pies.
Well, have I news for you? It seems that a third might be joining your family as soon as your mother comes home.
Oh, mother. Always bringing in strays, Ophalia. So, well, it'll be a full house tonight, then. I can't wait for Mother to get here. Have a seat around the table. We'll get you some tea.
I will happily enjoy the warmth of the room and the seemingly good company, and I will sit at the table and just start shuffling a regular deck of cards, not my Taroka deck, but just a plain old deck of 52 cards.
Are you a magician? Ophalia says, as she sits close to you.
Oh, nothing of the sort. No. Just some small card tricks I can do, but mostly that's it.
I think there was a magician that came around these parts recently. Yeah, isn't that right? And she says, I think somewhere in Vallaki he's a traveling magician or something like that.
Do you happen to remember when he was passing through?
We hear things. When my mother's out, she hears rumors. Apparently he has some sort of colorful caravan wagon. Perhaps he's a Vistani.
Perhaps his name.
I don't remember. I don't recall. Do you recall, Bella? She's like, no. You know, Mother, she always tells us about her days away, and it's people after people that she meets. It's name after name. I can't remember.
That doesn't match the description we have of the wizard who tried to kill Strahd, right?
No. She didn't say wizard. She said a magician.
Yep, that's it. Yep, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to keep an eye on the children.
Sure. How so?
Maybe see if I notice anything strange.
As in what? Like what behavior are you looking for?
I don't know. You said they're just playing right now?
Well, they're making pies, but honestly, this
they're making pies.
When you have kids baking, it's usually not that helpful.
Okay. I guess I'm trying to see if there's any sort of like robotic in nature of their movement, or if it seems like maybe they don't have all their faculties. I don't know.
The 7-year-old
lifelessness in their eyes.
The 7-year-old's like, look, I am a robot.
Well, not like that.
No, I'm just kidding. They don't do that.
But anything just like that would seem unnatural for two children trying to bake and enjoy themselves and run around and mess with each other or something like that.
Sure. It's fine. No, they seem to be very natural kids. I mean, they look like they're loving life. Like they're baking. One's got like a chef's hat on, and he's got flour all over his face. The other one, the little girl's laughing at everything he does.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Andrew, we'll go to you for a moment. Irina says, What danger are we in?
The Gwaindire spoke to me. Those women are not what they seem they are. Devils, fiends.
You're kidding me. How do you know this?
We could be in danger. The Gwaindire, he speaks to me. He tells me. He keeps me safe, keeps me on my path to destiny.
Perhaps they're in league with Strahd.
Perhaps. Or perhaps they're another evil in this land. But our friends could be in danger. Cast around. What have they left down here? Look around. What is there anything important down here?
Let me recap again what was down here. There were crates. There were crates and barrels. Like, it's a storeroom. There's also cages with chickens. You can hear them like the clucking sounds, and you see them. They're like on the floor in the western side of this chamber. There's a hearth. You also see a barrel kind of like in the center of the room. It kind of seems like it's, I wouldn't say out of place, but it's definitely apart from the rest of the barrels, right. And a wooden trunk.
Perhaps there are some clues here. I'll investigate the wooden trunk.
She says,
quietly.
If we're gone for long, they're going to suspect that we're snooping around.
Of quickly, you look at the barrel, I'll look at the trunk.
Okay, quickly. You go to the trunk. The trunk, you notice when you get close to it, has tiny holes bored into its lid. It is not locked.
I'll go open it.
You open the
Just
the
slowly,
trunk
carefully.
slowly, and inside you see 100 croaking toads. When you open it and the light comes in, they start to croak loudly.
I'll put the lid back on quickly.
You still hear the croaking sounds through the lid. Again, there's holes, air holes in it.
Okay.
Irina says, I don't know what I'm looking at here.
I'll go over and look.
You look back and you see she's standing over the barrel. When you get close enough, you can see that inside is a black, tarry liquid. It's filled nearly to the brim.
What does it smell like?
It smells like sulfur. And it almost has like a stringent sensation on your nostrils.
It smells like the devil's brew.
I don't know what
What
this
is
is, she says, but I don't want to touch any of it. She'll put the lid back on.
Right.
We should go up before they suspect something.
Yes.
Maybe
Take
too
them
late.
out.
I heard the
We
croaking.
may need to leave quickly.
She'll
Stay close
start.
to me.
She'll start to walk up the stairs, and she goes, she starts to say something like, "Look, if you needed to use the restroom, you didn't have to go all the way outside. I'm sure they have one in here." And she makes her presence known with you all, and she kind of says that loud enough for everybody to hear. She goes, "Oh, yes, that's right. There were more of you. Bella, this is
Rufus. This is
Rufus.
Irina.
What a lovely name, Irina," Bella says as she goes and says, "Please come here. You are an exquisite beauty." And she'll grab her by the hand. Irina says, "Oh, I just... This is not my best day. I'm soaking wet. I haven't done my hair." Says, "No, you can see beauty through the rain, certainly. Come, dry yourself by the fire." Bella will take Irina by the hand over to the fire and sit her down. The rest of you, I assume, Rufus, you join them at the table?
No, I'll go to the fire with Irina.
Okay. The rest of you sitting at the table opposite like the countertops where the kids are playing. You could see an hourglass kind of tick down the last sands, and Bella says, "Oh, Ophalia, the pie's done. Bring it out." And she'll bring out the pie from the hearth and place it on the table. She says, "We have to let it cool a bit. We can't have it right now." She says, "But kids, how are those pastries coming?" "Good," they sing in unison.
Oh boy.
Not like a freak unison like the twins in The Shining, but just like kids responding at the same time. I
Well,
hope.
one of them's a little freak.
One of them's Freak.
Ah,
Actually, and so Freak says, "We're almost done with all these," and you can see like they're little pies. These are like the handheld, like the really like smaller pies that you saw in the cart. They're filled with fruit and other things. You can see he's scooping out different various fruits. There's jars filled with all different sorts of stuff. And then there's one like bigger, like I would say like a cauldron like type container. It's a small cauldron, and he scoops out a big old glop of that and puts a little bit in each one.
I'll walk over to the kids and just be like, so what sort of pies are you making here?
The little girl's like giggling as you approach, and Freak says, he goes, "These are fruit pies. All of them are so delicious and yummy."
And is that concoction something that you made? I gesture to the cauldron.
"Oh, well, I didn't make any of this stuff. I mean, Bella and Ophalia, they make it.
Ah,
They don't want us near the stove. It's too dangerous." And the little girl was like, "Yeah, too dangerous."
may I smell?
"Sure." He offers you one of the pies that he's about to like close up.
All right, I'll take a big whiff out of it. But
Smells.
particularly, Is it the one with the glop from the cauldron?
They put a little bit of that in everyone.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and it smells delicious.
Mm.
It smells like the best blueberry pie you've ever smelled.
Well, it seems like you're doing good work here.
Yeah. They say we're the secret ingredient.
Yes. Something I surmised. Hmm.
They are delicious pies. Yum.
You don't know at this point that I got the divine sense.
But
I
I-
haven't told you.
But
No.
I remember my encounter with Morgantha and what happened with the family and her taking the kids away and what I was assuming based on that.
Canas,
Yes. You know.
Telepathically,
I say
in your
telepathically.
head, I'm communicating with you.
Yeah, you are. You're so good at it.
I don't know if I'm breaking trust here, but I overheard Rufus talking with Irina. He said
Oh.
that these people might be friends. I was clear he said the word friend.
Well,
He said the Gwain Lord told him that these people were friends and to look out.
well, Yune, as you know, Rufus is a fool and he thinks everyone's a friend.
There are also frogs and black tar down here.
That is the least surprising thing I've heard all day.
But I did hear the word friend. He said it twice. And that the Gwain Lord told him that they were friends.
I have a feeling you may have misheard, Yune.
I don't think so. I know the word friend. Over and out.
Yune, if an older woman, was she older?
She was
She was much older.
Okay. If an older woman makes her way into the windmill with a young boy, please inform me at once.
If it's a younger woman, should I not inform you?
You know what? Maybe just inform me of anyone who comes into the windmill.
Okay, only people though, not creatures.
Creatures, especially bloodthirsty creatures, would be good to know as well. In fact,
You got
you
it.
might as well just make yourself known and fly right up if a bloodthirsty creature comes into the windmill.
Oh, I certainly
Shouting.
will be headed your way if a bloodthirsty creature comes through those doors.
Thank you. Yes. Yune. You know what, Yune? You are doing a bang-up job today.
And if they're friends, call me.
And your voice sounds especially lovely.
What I love is that it's much easier on my voice. So, now you're all in the chamber here, and the pie is cooling. And they say, so tell us, where are you from? You're not from the village of Barovia. Bella says, I don't believe you look like the Barovian type.
I'm a traveler of sorts. I don't stay in one place too often.
I'm from the small village of Neverwinter. My parents are farmers. We're simple people. They grow red sorghum. But I've also been known to travel myself.
I've been to Neverwinter, Ophalia, who's again sitting very close to you, says.
It's lovely, isn't it? I mean, like
It's in the
I-
summertime,
Barovia has
it's
been great.
delightful.
it is. I agree. I love Barovia. It's been lovely to be here, but I do. My heart weeps for not being in Neverwinter.
She says, you love Barovia?
It's lovely.
She says, I think we may be in the same boat. She says, we got trapped here many years ago.
Oh well, then if I'm being honest, I can't stand being here. We are also trapped, but I was trying to be polite.
She says, yeah, we've been here for how long now, Bella? And Bella says, we were just kids, I believe, when it happened. Mother found a way to make a life for us here, but we've kind of just realized that there's no going back home.
Well, I'm terribly sorry for your plight, as I'm sure my cohort is. But fear not, we are working to right this grievous wrong.
I'm really happy that you joined us, though. Perhaps we could work together in the future. We could always make more pies with more people here. Peddle them.
You know? Maybe.
I appreciate the offer, but personally must decline. Unfortunately, I have other matters to attend to here in Barovia.
Oh, well, at least for the night you'll stay, correct? You have to see Mother. I mean, she would love to hear your rave reviews. You'll stay with us, won't you? And Laurent Ophalia will, like, grab your bicep and grip it hard.
Yes.
Good. It's settled
nothing,
then.
Nothing would make me happier than spending the night.
Now, let's cut up the pie. She'll take like a serving cutting knife out and scoop out pieces of pie for everyone. This is of raspberry variety. She'll open it up and serve it to each of you. She'll take an old, like a fancy silverware fork and take one piece of the raspberry pie, like the tip of it, and she'll hold it out to you, Laurent.
And I will graciously accept. I love raspberry.
Does she give any to Irina and myself?
Yeah, she'll give a piece to everyone here, even the kids. The kids sit down and they're like, so good.
We should not. We cannot take this pie. We cannot pay for it. We have spent all our coin.
Please, this one is on the house. This was going to be for the kids anyway, so less for them is better. They have such a sweet tooth, Bella retorts.
As Canas did not partake in one of the pies the first time around.
Correct.
He is feeling a huge pit in his stomach after the entire day of travel, and feels like he needs to eat something, and reluctantly, he not showing it outwardly, but reluctantly is going to take a piece of the pie.
Really interesting. Okay, so
I'm absolutely full. Canas, isn't it so good?
It certainly smells good.
The kids are almost devouring theirs. They're almost done with it at this point. They're scarfing it down. What about you, Dione?
I look at Laurent and Canas and the kids, and I go, I shrug, and then I pull a slice towards myself, and I just kind of like, I scoop it up with my hands and just throw it into my face, like I'm starving.
Before you shove it into your face, I'll say, are you sure you wish to eat that, Dione? Remember, we cannot pay, and I'll look at you knowingly.
I take while she's like grabbing it with her hands, I take a fork and I take like the tiniest piece off the tip and I put it up to my nose and I sniff it again.
What do you want to discern anything? Is that what you're trying to do?
Not really. I'm just so wary of this thing that I'm about to eat.
Well, so just as a reminder, you know what happens when you eat the pies.
Yes.
Within the hour, you basically have, like, you'll fall asleep. It makes you fall asleep, and it makes you have, like, this vivid, like, wonderful dream. The best feeling dream. It's like a psychedelic, in some ways, psychedelic trip. But instead of it being like just, colors and whatever, you see like it's flashes, visions of memories mixed with like I said, Laurent, things that never happened, but things that he would have wanted to happen. So you know what it's supposed to do. Let me know in the chat.
I say to Yune right before I put it in my mouth, if anything should happen here throughout the night, wake me up. And I eat it.
Okay. And for you in the chat, let me know. Would you eat the pie if you were in the character's situation? Let me know. Interested to see. Rufus, you don't eat it, correct?
No, I don't eat it.
Okay. Irina refuses to eat it as well. She says, I My stomach has soured, she says. I shouldn't eat anything. And the women both look. They're like, no, this will make you feel just right.
Well, I would like to ask a question, actually, while we're all here. Is it Bella?
Yes.
We've been told to look out for a small castle beneath a mountain guarded by amber giants. Does that make any sense to you as a location?
She looks
Barovia?
confused and looks to her sister. An amber castle? No, I've never heard of one. Certainly.
A
Perhaps
castle
Mother
beneath
knows,
a
though.
mountain.
Mother's much more of a traveler than we are.
Well, what about a dead village drowned by a river? Is there
Aren't
such
there
a
old-
place?
Aren't there old ruins down south? She says. Mother encountered them many years ago, right? She says, I think so.
Interesting.
Yeah, ruins down south, I believe. But I'm so bad with directions, Ophalia says. I'm so can be such an airhead sometimes.
Any wealthy women in in Barovia? Any particular noteworthy wealthy women?
She says, well, if you're not going to eat, I guess that's fine. She says, we could always save the pie pieces for later. The kids look stuffed. It's time for them to get to bed. Look, how about this? We'll clear some space downstairs for you. You can stay down there. The kids are going to go up to their beds. It's well past their bedtime now. And they're like, oh, come on. And Bella's like, you know the rules. Go up to your beds. We'll be up soon. The kids, like, take off their bibs and run upstairs. Those rascals.
Will you go to sleep now, or will you wait for Morgantha?
You talking to the women?
Bella.
Ah.
I'm talking
Oh,
to Bella.
we have quite a night ahead of us. We still have all these pies to bake, and they need to be ready for Mother when she gets back. She's going to stay for a short rest, and then, unfortunately, head back out. It seems the rain has slowed her down. She should have been here hours ago.
Will she be bringing this next batch back to the village of Barovia as well?
The plan was that she would leave. Yes, she would leave early in the morning, get a head start, perhaps be back in Barovia soon. The pies keep. She has got such a wonderful device. This cart, it keeps these pies preserved just as they were.
I can attest to that. They were as lovely in Barovia as they were tonight, if not better tonight, but only a little.
Well, I'm so happy. You are going to have wonderful dreams tonight, she says. I'm certain of it.
I'm counting on it.
Dione, did you end up eating the pie or no?
I did, yes.
You did, okay. So everybody except for Rufus and Irina ate the pie. Got it. Okay. So they start to bake, and actually, no, they don't start to bake. They will say, we will be right here. I'm going to go up and check on the kids. Ophalia, if you want to go downstairs and start to clean up the area, that would be great. And Bella will head upstairs. Ophalia will head downstairs. You're all alone now. What do you want to do?
I'll tell them about I spoke to the Gwaindire. These women are not as they seem. I believe them to be fiends of some sort. They do not appear overly harmful right now, but I would not eat any more pies. I know I did have one in the village myself with no ill effects, so I think you'd be in no immediate danger. But I don't know. Should we stay here, or I can stay awake?
Rufus, I was wary of the pies as well, but after all this travel and having eaten all day, I felt I would just be weak without nourishment. I had to partake. I
Irina
appreciate
says,
you abstaining this time around.
Irina says, I didn't eat any of the pie either. What do you think is in them?
Delicious fruit.
It
But
can't
what-
be too-
Probably.
What could make you have these dreams? I've I've heard of the dream pastries, but I've never had one myself. What could you put in it to give you that state?
I wonder if I wonder if these women imbue it with some sort of magic.
Some potion. It may make the pies addictive if you have too many.
Maybe there's some sort of hallucinogenic property inside of them.
Mhm. How they sustain their business.
She says, "This is some sort of a mill, right?
Yes.
A windmill.
What do they use it for?"
A windmill is to grind wheat and corn.
Do you see any corn?
That's a good question. Where are the grindstones here? Upstairs.
It looks like there are multiple levels still above you.
Is there any levels below us?
The one that you came from, the where it had all the storage.
But that didn't have any levels.
No.
No basement.
Where in a windmill does the grinding take place?
Well, usually in the ground level.
Hmm.
That's where it happens in Gwaindire. Villages around.
Barovia is so backwards, technology-wise. I'm sure they keep their grinding on top. They haven't figured out gravitational. I don't know, physics, something yet.
She says, "Well, what do we do? We can't stay here if they're fiends."
I think we should keep an eye on those children.
What about the children? Yes.
Perhaps Yune can go upstairs and see what is happening.
Excellent idea.
Yune,
Canas, a woman is here.
is it the woman we've already seen?
Yes,
Thank you.
she's
Would
moving
you-
things.
Moving what?
She looked at the trunk with all the toads.
Any sort of reaction in her face?
She took one of them, put it in her pocket.
Interesting.
She's moving this big barrel in the center here, the one filled with tar.
You know what, Yune? I would like you to keep an eye on this woman's movements.
Oh my gosh, wait a second. I can't believe it.
I'm saying this out loud, actually, now. Quietly, though.
She says, oh my god. It looks like something is moving in the tar. She's removed the lid.
Something is moving in that barrel of tar.
Yeah, there's something inside it, and it's moving.
What is it?
I don't know. I can't quite see. I can get closer.
With caution, yes.
I always use caution. It looks like... Wait a second. Oh my gosh. It looks like it's... got like a pig nose, a head, long ears. It's drenched in the tar.
Is it a pig?
Maybe. I've never seen a pig this ugly, but it's hard to tell. It's covered in black substance.
And what is she doing with this creature exactly?
She's just staring at it. It's poking its head out of the tar. Now she's putting the lid back on, and she's moving it to the side. She's clearing all the boxes. She's covering some things with a sheet. And now she's laying out the bed.
Alright. Yune, if you wouldn't mind checking upstairs on the children.
She's looking through your stuff.
I'm gonna walk downstairs.
Got it.
She's
start to
going
walk
through
up.
our s-
You start
she's
to walk
going through-
downstairs, but everybody
Yeah.
else doesn't know what you just heard. So what do you do?
Well, the things that I said out loud, I said quietly. So, for example, they heard me say that there's a creature moving around in there.
Hmm.
I think seeing Canas get up and kind of start walking downstairs, that probably get up and join him. Like I think these women are absolutely lovely, and their pies have been fantastic. But like in an interest of like they said they're making beds downstairs, like it seems like a logical choice to follow Canas.
Canas, are you, when you head downstairs, are you moving like with purpose?
Yes, I'm
Like-
moving a little bit quickly, and I'm looking back at Rufus and saying, "Let's go."
All right, I put my hand on the handle of my short sword and I follow Canas quickly.
And
I'll follow as well.
I do want Yune to go up and check on the children,
Yune
and
will
then
go up.
return, and then return.
Sure. You go downstairs, and you'll sense Yune kind of fly by you above your heads up the stairwell. You get downstairs, and you can see she's laid out like bedding, like enough bedding for the 5 of you, like sheets and some straw, things like that. She has your bags in her hand. She has it open as well, but she says, "Oh, I was just moving all of these to the side here. I figured it might be best for you to sleep near the hearth. Stay warm."
Mm-hmm.
She smiles
Well-
at you all, bright.
Thank you. I'll take that.
"Here you go." She offers it to you. She says, "It's a shame. Mother looks like she's going to be delayed."
Can we help set up the rest of these beds?
"Sure, help me, please." And she'll give you some sheets. You'll set up the area. She moved a lot of the things to the side. She says, "The chickens, don't mind them." You notice now that there's a lock on the trunk, Andrew. The toads. I don't know who else is downstairs. Anybody else downstairs? I just realized maybe not all of you went down.
I went down.
Yeah, I went down. I think we're all here.
Rufus, you too?
Yeah.
Okay. Irina will follow as well. While you're setting up the beds, Yune will chime in.
Canas,
That's me.
the floor above you contains some sort of a grindstone. That's all it is. A mechanism. Almost bare. Except there are what looks like bags, sacks. Perhaps a flour or grain.
I'm going to need you to look in one of those bags.
There's a stairwell up. Did you want me to check on the kids? Or should I wait?
Quickly check on. Where was Sorry, where was Bella going?
Upstairs. I can
With
hear
the
her
kids?
now. I can hear her now. The children are up there. Just above the stairs.
Essentially,
Why don't
there are
you-
4 floors, Stefano.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? While she's distracted by the kids, I would like you to check out one of those bags. But I need to make sure that when you open it, you hide the fact that you have opened it.
I'll do my best.
You hear silence for a few moments because Yune's not communicating. Ophalia says, "Well, it looks like the beds are done. This should be more than enough space here. I apologize for the mess. Like I said, I have to clean this place up. There are lots of crates here. They're just all different sorts of spices and ingredients that we store." She says, "Pay them no mind." She says,
And
I
how long
wouldn't-
have you and your family been running this operation? I'm filibustering.
"For many, many years. I would say most of my life. Probably 15 years or so.
Ah.
Maybe
And,
more. Maybe more. I sometimes forget."
Yes, you say you and your sister and your mother were trapped here, and that was before you started making the pies?
"Oh yes, we found this is our way to make things better here. We figured while we're trapped, we might as well put some people to ease."
Have you enjoyed your time here?
As much as one can. She smiles at, I was about to say Eric Lavernus. Laurent. She smiles at Laurent. And she says, I'll let you situate yourselves if you need anything. And if my mother comes in, please let her know that we are all okay. You are no assailants. And we'll be right upstairs if you need us. We may be up for quite a bit of the night cooking, but we'll try to keep our voices down.
All right.
Thank you so much for the lovely pies, and hopefully you don't have to work too hard upstairs.
Absolutely. Good night. She'll wave to you all and start to walk up.
Canas,
What is it, Yune?
I think I'm seeing this right. It looks like bags of small human bones.
Okay. Yune, are you able to either
They're coming,
retie?
Canas. She's coming down the stairs.
Get out of there? Oh, goodness.
I'm running. I'm running.
Everyone, there are bags of human bones by the grindstones. I think it's either time that we put these women to an end, or we get out of here.
Are you sure they're human bones? We saw a trap with a wolf in it. It seems totally reasonable to suggest that they might be something else.
There are also a bunch of graves. Maybe they are upcycled.
Maybe this is like a mortuary, and they are. There's probably a better word for like, when you burn. They're doing that.
Irina says, everyone? She's looking out the door, the little eye slot. I see a light in the distance. I think it's a cart. And we will see you next week on Tabletop Bob. Ooh, what a session. What a sesh. Was good.
Sash. What a sash.
What a sesh. Thank you for watching, everybody. This was a lot of fun. Excited to get back to the old Bonegrinder, as they call it. Next time, we'll figure out what these heroes are going to do about the kids upstairs, the women who are just baking some pies, and Mama Morgantha, who's coming up the hill. Coming around the mountain, she comes. If you would like to check the description, we've got links to all a bunch of things, our house rules, ways to support the channel, all that good stuff. Please take a look. Thank you for being with us in the chat tonight. It was this was an intense one. I think this is there wasn't combat, right? We didn't have combat. Maybe that'll change next time. But yeah. All right, so we'll see you all in 1 week. It's so nice to be back. Happy New Year, everybody. We'll see you on the tabletop. Good night.
Breaking your own rule.
I had to.